Imagine living a life where no insult cuts you, no failure breaks you, and chaos itself bows to your unshakable calm. Sounds impossible. Buddha said, "You are the master of your mind, not the victim of your world." But right now, you're drowning. Stress is a riptide dragging you under. Burnout is a wildfire with no rain in sight. And every criticism, a knife twisting in your gut. You've tried affirmations, shortcuts, toxic positivity. But what if you've been fighting the wrong battle? Your weakness isn't your fault. Modern life is a war zone designed to fracture your focus and crush your spirit. But 2,600 years ago, a prince discovered 10 secrets in the shadows of suffering. Secrets that turn pain into power, fear into fuel, and ordinary humans into unbreakable forces. These aren't platitudes. These are psychological weapons forged in the fires of ancient wisdom. One of these secrets will confront your deepest excuse for staying stuck. Another will force you to thank your enemies. And the final bonus lesson. It's so counterintuitive, so radical, it's been hidden in plain sight until today. If you're tired of feeling like a leaf in the storm, if you're ready to rewrite your story as the eye of the hurricane, stop wasting time. This isn't theory, it's a blueprint. Your life will test these secrets. The question is, will you fail the test or become the answer? If you're going to get one thing out of this video, get this. Strength isn't something you find. It's something you unleash. Lesson number 1. Have a strong purpose. A ship lost at sea doesn't sink because of the storm. It sinks because it has no direction. Life is the same. Without purpose, every hardship feels unbearable, every challenge insurmountable. But with a strong purpose, even the fiercest storm becomes just another wave to navigate. A ship without a rudder drifts. A mind without purpose drowns. This is the first secret to staying strong in every situation. Imagine standing at the edge of a roaring ocean, waves crashing, winds howling. The night is pitch black, but in the distance a lighthouse stands tall, its beams slicing through the darkness. That lighthouse, that's your purpose. No matter how wild the storm gets, it never flickers, never fades. When stress fractures your focus, when doubt whispers that you are not enough, your purpose becomes the unshakable beam cutting through chaos. But most people mistake purpose for a finish line, something to achieve, a destination to reach. That's why they feel lost. Buddha didn't teach that strength comes from chasing personal success. He taught that true resilience is born from service. The strongest people are not the ones who fight for themselves, but the ones who align with something greater than their own desires. Purpose is not about what you get, it's about what you give. A doctor pushing through exhaustion to heal others, an artist creating despite rejection, a parent sacrificing for their child. These are the ones who cannot be broken, because their strength does not come from fleeting motivation, but from deep, unwavering meaning. But finding purpose isn't always easy. In a world that constantly demands more, it's tempting to believe that purpose must be grand or extraordinary. That's an illusion. Purpose isn't found, it's built. Every action you take, every choice you make, either strengthens or weakens it. The key is to start small. If you don't know your purpose yet, begin with service. Who can you help today? What value can you add to someone's life? Strength does not come from endless motivation. It comes from deep roots. Grow them. Think about your own struggles. What storm are you navigating right now? Is it fear, self-doubt, loneliness? Name it. Write it down. And now ask yourself, what mission could make this storm worth enduring? If your struggles were the price of helping someone else, would you still feel weak? Imagine two people lost in the same forest. One is wandering aimlessly, panicked, exhausted. The other is searching for a missing child, pushing forward despite fear. Who is stronger? The one with a reason to keep going. Purpose transforms pain into power. It turns suffering into fuel. It gives meaning to struggle, so that instead of breaking you, it builds you. But there's a deeper truth. Your purpose is not about you. If it is, it will crumble the moment things get hard. Real purpose is tied to something bigger than your personal success. It's the quiet commitment of a teacher who believes in their students. It's the relentless passion of an activist fighting for change. It's the patience. Find your lighthouse, and no storm will ever break you. What storm are you facing right now? Comment below and name it. Face it. Own it. Then decide, who are you staying strong for? 2. Be untouchable to others' thoughts. A mountain does not bow to the wind. It stands unmoved as storms rage and whispers swirl around its peak. The second secret to staying strong in every situation is to be untouchable to others' thoughts. The mind that clings to opinions is a prisoner. The mind that observes them is a king. Strength is not about winning every argument or proving yourself. It's about being so deeply rooted in your truth that no judgment, no criticism, no fleeting opinion can shake you. But in today's world, that's easier said than done. Everywhere you turn, there's noise. Social media floods your mind with curated perfection. Comparisons gnaw at your confidence, and opinions, unsolicited and endless, try to define who you are. One comment, one rejection, one disapproving look, and suddenly self-doubt creeps in. But ask yourself, who gave these voices power? Buddha taught that suffering arises from attachment, and the same applies to words. The moment you attach to what others think, you give them control over your emotions. But here's the truth. What they say is not about you. It's about them. A kind person sees kindness in others. A bitter person sees flaws. When someone criticizes, they reveal more about their own mind than yours. Imagine a monk sitting in silence as an angry man shouts at him. The man hurls insults, trying to provoke a reaction, but the monk simply smiles and asks, "If someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man is stunned. The words he threw had no power because the monk never claimed them. This is true strength. Not reacting isn't indifference, it's mastery. But modern life makes us believe that silence is weakness. If someone insults you, you must respond. If someone doubts you, you must prove them wrong. But the strongest people don't play that game. They understand that not every battle is worth fighting, and not every opinion deserves attention. Silence is the sword that disarms toxicity. Think about it. What affects you the most? Is it comparison, the feeling that everyone else is ahead? Is it the fear of failure, the idea that one mistake will define you? Or is it approval seeking, the constant craving for validation? Which wind shakes you the hardest? Name it. Write it down. Then ask yourself, if you stopped letting this define you, how much lighter would you feel? Imagine standing at the top of a mountain, the wind howling around you. The whispers of others try to pull you down, but you stand still. You watch their words pass like autumn leaves, drifting in the wind, unable to touch your core. That's the power of detachment. You do not need to defend your worth. You do not need to explain yourself to those who have already decided not to understand you. Buddha once compared the mind to a still lake. When the water is disturbed, it becomes muddy and unclear. But when left undisturbed, it reflects reality with perfect clarity. If you let every opinion stir your mind, you will never see your true self. But if you remain still, you will understand. You were never the words they spoke about you. You were always something deeper. To stay strong in every situation, learn this. Observe, but do not absorb. Hear, but do not cling. Let words pass through you like the wind through the trees. The mountain does not move, and neither do you. Now tell me, which wind distracts you the most? Comparison, fear of failure, or approval seeking? Comment below, face it, and then let it go. 3. Deal with insults without defense. An insult is only as powerful as the reaction it provokes. The moment you defend yourself, you accept the battle. But what if you didn't? What if, instead of raising your shield, you became mist, untouchable, weightless, and free? Insults are arrows. Your defense is the quiver that holds them. Empty it, and the battle ends. This is the third secret to staying strong in every situation. Deal with insults without defense. Imagine someone shooting an arrow into thick fog. No matter how sharp, no matter how fast, it pierces nothing. It falls uselessly to the ground. That is what true strength looks like. Not meeting force with force, but with emptiness. But most people don't realize this. They hear an insult and immediately react, arguing, proving, explaining. They believe defending themselves will restore their dignity. But in truth, it only deepens the wound. The moment you defend yourself, you confirm that the insult had weight. That's exactly what your attacker wants. Buddha once told a story of a man who came to insult him, throwing hateful words like daggers. But Buddha only smiled and asked, "If someone offers you a gift, and you do not accept it, to whom does it belong?" The man was stunned. His insults were never received, never absorbed. They simply fell away, powerless. The attacker waits for your reaction to validate their power. No defense equals no war. But in the real world, insults feel personal. A coworker undermines your effort. A stranger online mocks your choices. A friend makes a cutting remark disguised as a joke. The instinct is to fight back. But ask yourself, what do you actually win? Arguments leave you drained. Explanations change nothing. And the more you resist, the more they push. But if you let the words pass through you, like wind through open hands, something shifts. The attacker loses control. The fire they hope to ignite never catches. This doesn't mean you tolerate mistreatment. It means you choose where to place your energy. Strength is knowing when to engage and when to walk away. A lion does not turn to bark at every dog. A river does not pause for pebbles. Some words are meant to provoke, not to seek truth. Recognize them for what they are. Think about the last time someone insulted you. Did your response bring peace, or did it bring more fire? What if, instead of reacting, you had smiled, nodded, and moved on? Imagine how much lighter you would feel. The greatest warriors do not fight battles that do not serve them. They do not waste their arrows on empty targets. In a world obsessed with being right, with winning debates, with proving superiority, true power lies in restraint. It lies in choosing not to carry the insult, not to let it poison your mind, not to waste your energy on people who thrive on conflict. Buddha compared the mind to a calm lake. Throw a rock into it and the ripples disturb the surface. But if the lake remains still, the rock sinks, disappearing without a trace. If you let insults stir your emotions, you give them life. But if you remain still, they sink and vanish, leaving you untouched. So the next time someone tries to tear you down, ask yourself, will you be the lake or the storm, the mist or the shield? Let their words pass. Let them throw their arrows into empty air and watch as they fall, powerless at your feet. What's one insult you've held onto for too long? Comment below and let it go. A storm does not break the bamboo. It bends, sways, and then rises again, untouched. This is the fourth secret to staying strong in every situation. When someone speaks ill of you, be like bamboo, bend like bamboo, not break like oak. The unwise exhaust themselves. The wise return to their truth. There will always be people who misunderstand you, judge you, and twist your words. You may hear rumors, whispered lies, or assumptions made by those who barely know you. It's tempting to fight back, to clear your name, to set the record straight. But ask yourself, is their opinion worth your peace? Gossip is a wind that bends you, but it can never uproot you unless you let it. Imagine two trees in a storm. One is rigid, an old oak that refuses to yield. The other is bamboo, flexible, moving with the wind. When the storm comes, the oak resists and its branches snap. But the bamboo, it bends, absorbs the force, and when the winds die down, it stands tall once again. This is wisdom. The weak react, the strong reflect. When someone speaks ill of you, pause. Ask yourself, does this accusation hold any truth? If the answer is yes, see it as a lesson, not an attack. But if the words are empty, let them snap back like a stretched branch released. No resistance, no retaliation, just return to your truth. Buddha taught that words are like echoes. They reflect the person who speaks them, not the one they're spoken about. A bitter person spreads bitterness. A jealous person spreads envy. What others say about you reveals more about their suffering than your flaws. But in today's world, ignoring gossip feels impossible. Social media amplifies every whisper. One comment, one post, one careless remark, and suddenly you're questioning yourself. But here's the secret. 1,000 voices shouting lies do not make them true. Your character is not built on opinions, it's built on actions. A lion does not lose sleep over the barking of dogs. Think of a time someone spread false words about you. How did it make you feel? Angry, hurt, misunderstood? Now ask yourself, did your reaction change their mind? Did defending yourself erase their opinion, or did it only drain your energy? The truth is, you cannot control what others say, but you can control how much power you give their words. Buddha once faced a man who insulted him repeatedly, but instead of reacting, Buddha simply asked, "If you buy a gift and you do not have to accept every opinion thrown at you. You do not have to pick up every stone hurled your way. Let people speak. Let them project their pain. Let them exhaust themselves in their own negativity. You bend. You do not break." So the next time someone speaks ill of you, pause, ask, is this my truth or their projection? If it is not yours, walk away, let the wind pass and rise again. The storm will move on, the bamboo will remain. Now tell me, have you ever wasted energy fighting words that weren't even true? Comment below and let them go. 5. Guard your mind. Your mind is a fortress, but a fortress is only as strong as what it allows inside. This is the 5th secret to staying strong in every situation. Guard your mind. Guard the mind like a city. Not all thoughts deserve citizenship. Most people do not protect their minds. They let any thought, any opinion, any fear walk through the gates and take up space. They absorb negativity from the news, compare themselves endlessly on social media, and replay past regrets like a broken record. And then they wonder why they feel anxious, lost, and overwhelmed. Imagine a city with no walls, no guards. Chaos would rule. But a wise ruler selects what enters, ensuring only what strengthens the kingdom is allowed in. Your mind must be ruled the same way. Thoughts are like visitors. Some bring wisdom, inspiration, and peace. Others bring doubt, fear, and destruction. Not every thought deserves to stay. If you wouldn't let a thief into your home, why allow self-doubt to live in your mind? If you wouldn't hand a weapon to an enemy, why hand your peace over to regret? Curate your mental input like you would a social media feed. Unfollow negativity, delete toxic narratives, and follow joy. But guarding your mind is not suppression. It's intentional cultivation. The goal is not to force thoughts away, but to choose where you place your attention. Buddha taught that the mind is like a garden. If you do not plant flowers, weeds will grow by default. The more you focus on fear, the more fear expands. The more you entertain resentment, the deeper it takes root. But when you feed gratitude, resilience, and wisdom, they grow stronger than anything else. Think about this. What thoughts weaken your focus the most? Is it regret over the past, envy of others, self-doubt? The first step to guarding your mind is awareness. Notice what thoughts keep returning. Ask yourself, does this thought serve me, or does it steal my energy? If it doesn't serve you, release it. You are not obligated to believe everything your mind tells you. Now, let's talk about the real world. Maybe you wake up and the first thing you do is check your phone. News filled with fear, social media posts that make you feel like you're behind, gossip, complaints, distractions. What if you chose differently? What if, instead of opening the gates to chaos, you started your day with intention? Reading something uplifting, meditating, practicing gratitude. The way you feed your mind in the morning shapes the strength you carry through the day. Buddha once said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." If you constantly allow negativity, you will feel weak. If you constantly nurture wisdom, you will be unshakable. Strength is not about resisting thoughts, it's about directing them. A river does not fight obstacles, it flows around them. Your mind should do the same. Let harmful thoughts pass like clouds in the sky, observed but not held onto. Every time you entertain a toxic thought, you are handing it power. But every time you choose peace over overthinking, you reclaim your strength. So be mindful, protect your mental space, guard the gates of your fortress. Not every thought deserves a place in your kingdom. Now ask yourself, what mental invader weakens you the most? Regret, envy, or self-doubt? Comment below and take the first step in reclaiming your mind. 6. Everyone is a relentless teacher. Life is a classroom, but the lessons do not always come wrapped in kindness. This is the sixth secret to staying strong in every situation. Everyone is a relentless teacher. Even your enemy holds a mirror to your blind spots. Thank them. We tend to believe that wisdom comes from mentors, books, or positive experiences. But the deepest lessons often arrive disguised as hardships, as difficult people, as painful failures. Imagine a sculptor chiseling away at a block of stone. Every strike, every harsh scrape removes what is unnecessary and reveals something greater. They complain about the boss who pushes them too hard, the friend who betrayed them, the competitor who forces them to do better. But if you look closer, you'll see. These people are your teachers in disguise. A toxic boss teaches patience and emotional control. A rival forces you to refine your skills. A betrayal teaches you discernment. No interaction is wasted if you choose to learn from it. Buddha once told a story of a young monk who was constantly insulted by an old man in the village. Every day, the man hurled insults, trying to provoke him, but the monk remained calm. One day, a disciple asked, "Why do you never react?" The monk smiled and said, "If someone gives you a gift but you refuse to accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The disciple answered, "To the giver." The monk nodded. "Then so it is with anger. I do not accept his gift, so it remains his burden. This is wisdom. The way people treat you is a reflection of their character, not yours. But the way you respond, that is a reflection of your growth. You cannot control others, but you can control what you take from each experience. Think of someone who challenges you right now. A difficult co-worker, a demanding parent, a critic who never seems satisfied? What if, instead of seeing them as obstacles, you saw them as lessons? What if every frustration became an opportunity to sharpen your patience, your discipline, your resilience? Pain becomes power when you shift your perspective. Most people waste their hardships. They relive arguments in their heads. They let resentment build walls inside them. But here's the truth. Resentment chains you to the past, but wisdom sets you free. The difference: what you choose to take from the experience. Imagine an athlete training for a competition. The harder the training, the stronger they become. Challenges are your training ground. Every difficult person, every setback, every failure is adding to your strength, but only if you let it. The lesson is always there. The question is, will you recognize it? Your greatest teachers wear the mask of adversity. Your mistakes are lessons in disguise. Your enemies, your critics, your hardships, they are all part of your training. The world is constantly teaching you. The only way to lose is to refuse to learn. Now reflect. Who is your greatest teacher right now? A person, a struggle, a setback? Comment below and embrace the lesson. 7. Overcome fear and shame. Fear and shame. These are the invisible chains that keep people from stepping into their full strength. This is the 7th secret to staying strong in every situation. Overcome fear and shame. Fear is the kindling. Courage is the flame. Burn what binds you. Fear thrives in the unknown. It whispers, what if you fail? What if they judge you? What if you're not good enough? But here's the truth. Fear itself has no power. It only controls you if you let it. Imagine holding a piece of wood. Alone, it is nothing but potential energy. But when fire touches it, it transforms into warmth, into light, into power. Fear is the wood. Courage is the flame. If you use fear as fuel instead of a barrier, it becomes a force of transformation. Think about this. How many times has fear stopped you? You wanted to speak up in a meeting, but stayed silent. You wanted to share your art, your ideas, your truth, but the fear of judgment held you back. You wanted to apologize, to express love, to take a risk, but shame whispered, "You're not worthy." And so you stayed small, not because you couldn't, but because you wouldn't. But what if you flipped the script? What if instead of letting fear freeze you, you let it push you forward? Buddha taught that the only way to conquer fear is through direct experience. If you avoid fear, it grows. If you face it, it dissolves. The first time you speak in public, your voice might shake. The first time you take a risk, doubt will scream in your ear. But if you push through, if you walk through the fire, you will realize something profound. Fear never had substance. It was only smoke. Now let's talk about shame. Shame is not the same as guilt. Guilt says, I did something bad. Shame says, I am bad. But where does this belief come from? It comes from the past. Mistakes, rejection, childhood wounds, societal conditioning. Shame convinces you that you are unworthy, that you must hide parts of yourself. But here's the twist. Shame is the shadow of your untapped light. The very thing you feel ashamed of, the thing you try to suppress, is often the key to your greatest power. Take a moment and ask yourself, what are you ashamed of? Is it your background, your failures, your emotions, your dreams that others have mocked? What if, instead of hiding these things, you embraced them? What if you turned them into your fuel, the parts of you that you... Strength is not in perfection. It's in authenticity. Think of the people you admire most. They are not those who lived without struggle. They are those who turned struggle into wisdom, fear into fire, shame into strength. You are no different. The only thing separating you from your potential is the belief that fear and shame have power over you. They don't. They are only illusions, smoke before the fire burns them away. So here's your challenge. What fire have you been avoiding that could liberate you? Is it speaking up, taking a risk, owning your story? Comment below and claim it, because the moment you step through fear, you step into freedom. 8. Develop an ethical life. Develop an ethical life. This is the 8th secret to staying strong in every situation. Ethics aren't rules. They're the North Star when modern life obscures the path. Imagine you're lost in a dense fog, unable to see more than a few steps ahead. You don't know which direction leads to safety, but then you spot a single, unmoving light in the distance, a North Star. You follow it, and no matter how thick the fog gets, you stay on course. That's what ethics are. In a world full of temptations, distractions, and moral shortcuts, ethical living is your unshakable guide. But here's the problem. Modern life rewards shortcuts, lie to get ahead, betray someone for gain, chase quick wins, even at the cost of your integrity. At first, these shortcuts seem to work. The liar profits, the cheater succeeds, the manipulator wins. But what they don't realize is this. They are trading long-term strength for temporary success. Look around. Who do you trust the most? Not the wealthiest, not the most powerful, but the one who is dependable. Because trust is the real currency. It cannot be bought, only earned. And when life gets difficult, when storms come, it is not wealth, fame, or power that protects you. It is the strength of your character. Buddha didn't teach ethics as a rigid rule book. He taught them as a path to freedom. When you live with integrity, you remove inner conflict. No more guilt, no more second guessing, no more fear of being exposed. Your mind becomes peaceful because you have nothing to hide. And a peaceful mind is an unbreakable one. But what does an ethical life look like? It's not just about avoiding wrongdoing. It's about making choices that strengthen your spirit. It's choosing honesty when lies are easier. It's standing up for what's right, even when you stand alone. It's refusing to harm others, even when you could get away with it. It's treating people with kindness, not because they deserve it, but because you are that kind of person. Think about this. When people hear your name, what do you want them to think? Do you want them to hesitate, unsure if they can trust you? Or do you want them to feel safe, knowing that your word is unshakable? Your reputation is your armor. It protects you in ways money never can. In business, in friendships, in life. When people trust you, opportunities open effortlessly. Here's the twist. Living ethically is not just about others. It is the ultimate self-interest. When you live with integrity, you sleep better, think clearer, love deeper. You eliminate regret before it begins. You build a life so solid that no storm can knock it down. Because at the end of the day, strength isn't just about resilience. It's about alignment. When your actions match your values, you move through life without hesitation. Now take a moment and reflect. Where in your life do you feel misaligned? Is there an area where you've taken shortcuts? A place where you've justified small dishonesty? What if, starting today, you chose the harder but higher road? Comment below. What is one ethical principle you want to strengthen in your life? Because when your moral compass is steady, no storm can lead you astray. 9. Live aligned with nature. Live aligned with nature. This is the 9th secret to staying strong in every situation. Winter doesn't apologize for snow. Why apologize for your boundaries? Think about nature. The seasons shift effortlessly. Spring brings life, summer flourishes, autumn releases, winter rests. No season rushes, no tree forces its leaves to stay, no river fights against its flow. Nature thrives because it surrenders to its rhythm. Yet, as humans, we resist our natural cycles. We overwork, ignore exhaustion, force happiness when sadness is needed. We fear rest as if it were failure. But what if true strength comes not from constant action, but from knowing when to pause? Here's the problem. Modern life glorifies productivity. Push harder, work longer, always be available. If you're not producing, you feel guilty. If you say no, you feel selfish. If you take a break, you feel weak. But look at a forest. Does a tree apologize when it stops growing in winter? Does the moon apologize for its darkness? Number. Because rest is not weakness. It is preparation. And just like nature, you must honor your own cycles. Buddha taught balance. Not excess, not deprivation, but alignment. There is a time to grow and a time to be still. A time to give and a time to receive. A time to endure and a time to let go. Ignoring these rhythms leads to burnout, anxiety, and exhaustion. But when you align with nature's wisdom, you stop forcing, stop apologizing, and start flowing. So what does this look like in real life? Rest without guilt. If you need time alone, take it. If your mind is tired, pause. If your heart needs healing, don't rush. The world will keep turning. The sky will not fall because you chose to breathe. Say no without explanation. Boundaries are not barriers. They are protection. A river needs banks to flow with power. A flame needs space to burn without destroying. Your boundaries don't make you cold. They make you clear. But here's the twist. Disruptions are the rhythm. We think of obstacles as mistakes, as interruptions to our path. But look at the wind. It doesn't break the mountain, it shapes it. Look at the ocean. Waves crash, yet the tide always returns. Your struggles are not detours. They are part of your rhythm. Every challenge is carving you into something stronger. Every setback is realigning you with your true path. Imagine if you stopped resisting and started trusting. Trust that exhaustion means you need rest, not that you are failing. Trust that a rejection is redirection, not a dead end. Trust that stillness is progress, not stagnation. Because strength is not about always moving, it's about knowing when to be still. Now take a moment and reflect. What is one way you've been fighting against your natural rhythm? Have you ignored rest, overcommitted yourself, resisted change? Comment below. What is one shift you can make today to align with your nature? Because when you live like the seasons, unapologetic, balanced and strong, nothing can break you. 10. Practice gratitude. Practice gratitude. The final and perhaps the most powerful Buddhist secret to staying strong in every situation. Gratitude turns leaden moments into golden wisdom. Imagine an alchemist. He takes something ordinary, something rough, dull, and seemingly worthless, like lead. Then, through fire, pressure, and time, he transforms it into gold. Gratitude is the alchemy of the soul. It turns frustrations into patience, setbacks into resilience, and pain into wisdom. The strongest people aren't those who avoid hardship. They're the ones who transmute it into fuel for growth. But here's the problem. Most of us only practice gratitude for the obvious things: success, health, love, or comfort. But true gratitude is tested in the moments when everything seems to be falling apart. A traffic jam, a chance to pause, breathe, and reflect. A tough boss, a teacher in disguise, sharpening your resilience. A heartbreak, proof that you dared to love deeply. The people who develop unshakable strength are those who don't just endure suffering, but extract meaning from it. Buddhism teaches that suffering itself isn't the enemy. Our resistance to suffering is. When we fight reality, we create pain. When we accept and learn from it, we transform. The difference between a person who breaks under pressure and someone who thrives is not the presence or absence of struggle, it's the presence of gratitude. So how do you apply this? Start small. Before you complain, pause. Ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me? Stuck in traffic? Maybe life is forcing you to slow down and be present. Lost a job? Perhaps it's making space for something better. Every experience carries a hidden gift. Your job is to find it. But here's the twist. The deepest gratitude blooms in the soil of suffering. Think about it. The people who have suffered the most often have the greatest appreciation for life. Survivors of illness don't take their health for granted. People who have known loneliness cherish connection. Pain strips away illusions and leaves behind only what truly matters. The great Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "No mud, no lotus. The lotus, one of the most beautiful flowers, grows in muddy waters. Without struggle, there is no growth. Without darkness, there is no light. If you only celebrate the easy moments, you miss half of life's richness." Now take a moment. What is one challenge you faced that in hindsight made you stronger? Drop it in the comments. This is your first act of alchemy, turning your struggles into wisdom. Because once you master this, nothing can break you, because everything strengthens you. Bonus lesson: the secret of impermanence. The secret of impermanence, perhaps the most profound of all Buddhist teachings. Clutch nothing, not pain, not joy. The tide claims all, but the ocean remains. Imagine a group of monks spending days creating an intricate sand mandala. Layer upon layer of breathtaking detail, colors woven into patterns with delicate precision, and then, in an instant, they wipe it away. Gone. Not a mistake, not an accident, but a lesson. Nothing lasts. Not our victories, not our defeats, not our happiest moments or our deepest pains. Everything is temporary, shifting, fading away. The real question is, can you accept this truth instead of fearing it? We suffer because we hold on too tightly. We cling to relationships, status, and security, believing that if we just grip hard enough, we can freeze time. But life is like the ocean. Losing a job, a wave rolling by, a breakup, a ripple disappearing into the distance. You are not the wave. You are the ocean, vast, calm, unaffected by the storms that come and go. Yet this is where most people struggle. They see impermanence as something sad, as if it means nothing truly matters. But in reality, impermanence is freedom. The fact that pain doesn't last means you can endure anything. The fact that joy is fleeting means you must treasure every moment. The tide takes, but it also gives. Every ending is the beginning of something new. So, how can you use this to stay strong? First, stop resisting change. Let go of the illusion that things should remain the same. Life isn't meant to be controlled, it's meant to be lived. When things fall apart, don't resist. Breathe, adjust. Trust that something new is always coming. Second, let go of identity labels. You are not your job. You are not your mistakes. You are not even your successes. These are just temporary roles you play. When you understand this, no loss can break you, because you were never truly defined by it. Third, find comfort in uncertainty. Most people fear the unknown. But impermanence means anything is possible. If life is always shifting, no hardship is forever, no struggle is endless, no storm lasts forever. Instead of fearing the unknown, welcome it as an open door, an invitation for something new. The great Zen master Suzuki Roshi once said, "If you realize that all things change, there is nothing you will try to hold on to. Imagine the weight that would lift off your shoulders if you truly embraced this. Imagine how unshakable you'd be if nothing, good or bad, could disturb your inner peace." Now ask yourself, what am I holding on to that the tide could wash away? A past mistake, a grudge, a version of yourself that no longer fits? Share it below. The moment you recognize what you're clinging to, you've already started letting go. And once you master this, no situation, no loss, no change, and no hardship will ever shake you again. Quick summary of 10 lessons. Strength. Respond with detachment, not defensiveness. Truth stands on its own. It needs no defense. Guard your mind. Be ruthless in filtering mental noise. Toxic thoughts create weakness. Disciplined focus builds resilience. You decide what enters your mind. Everyone is a teacher. Adversity is a mirror. Tough bosses, rivals, and critics reveal areas for growth. Appreciate them. They are unpaid mentors. The ego shouts, "Protect yourself." Wisdom answers, "What is there to protect?" When insults don't shake you, failure doesn't break you, and opinions can't trap you, you are free. That is true strength. Buddha didn't teach perfection, he taught presence. A single mindful breath carries more power than a lifetime of regrets. Ask yourself, are you living in the storm, or are you the storm? The answer will change everything. If this video sparked even a moment of clarity, nurture it. Share this with someone who feels lost in the chaos, and be part of a community cultivating unshakable peace in an uncertain world. Drop a comment. Which lesson resonated with you the most? Remember, knowledge without action is just noise. Go live these truths. The world needs your strength. Now,